Mary here. I'm back. I just want to start a new reading vlog. It is December 3rd. Tomorrow is the first day of back to school in 2021, which is normally a super exciting day. We are still teaching from home at the moment, which I'm relieved about. But I do want to kind of talk through my reading plans for the week because I have an anticipation that these will probably be some super exciting reads for me, and I definitely might give my first 5-star read of the year, which is always super exciting. So the first book I'm in the middle of reading is Kingdom of the Wicked by Kerri Matastalko. I am about 130 pages into this. I'm really liking this book. I'll say that. I'm going to talk a little bit about this at the end because this is a book I really anticipate finishing quickly this week. And then I'm going to move on to one of my most highly anticipated reads of the year, and that is Lore by Alexandra Bracken. I don't think I put it in a reading vlog, but I actually read about 150 pages of this book and then put it down because I was reading it during Christmas break and I had wanted to read some quicker, fast-paced things. This is definitely not a quick, fast-paced read, but this is like a mythology-themed read that has to do with the Greek gods, and I have literally just finished reading The Tower of Nero in late 2020, so I'm really excited to dive into that. So between this and this, I think I might have my 2 5-star reads of the year because I'm really loving Kingdom of the Wicked, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. And then to kind of relax and give myself a break, I also really, oh my god, I keep dropping everything. Story of my life. I also would love to tackle some of these sequel romances that I have, Regency romances. I really got into Regency romances last year, and I really want to watch the Bridgerton series, but I do want to have a little bit of backdrop. So I have The Viscount Who Loves Me, Julia Quinn, and this is Anthony's book. Anthony was really funny in The Duke and I. And also The Duke's Stolen Bride by Sophie Jordan, and this follows Mariana, who was the maid to the one in, I think it was the Scott of Mine, and I liked her as a character. So if I can finish these 4 books this week, I would be super happy, impressed. I'm also going to spend this week catching up on my podcast. I still have to listen to a few Millennial ones, a few Harry Potter ones, and then I am going to listen to Steal Like an Artist, which is my nonfiction audiobook for the month. So yeah. And in the interim, I'm going to probably read a little bit of this before I, watch a movie tonight. But I am also reading Keeper of the Lost Cities Unlocked. And I'm on page 67, and I have to get up to page 500. Because this is, the breakdown of the world. So this will also be something I'm probably going to read for the whole month. Just, when I need, I want to read, but I'm not in the mood to read plot stuff. Because this is just sort of information that I already know. So yeah, those are my reading plans for this week. Also during this week, in general, I am going to try to catch up on my YouTube queue, which I fall so far behind in 2020. So I have about, according to YouTube, I have about 74 videos left. So that's going to be my goal for the week, is to kind of catch up and stop adding videos to it. Which always happens, and then I'm probably going to spend the weekend catching up on my TV shows. So I can really start 2021 fresh. But that's kind of the catch-up for this reading vlog. But I do want to talk a little bit about Kingdom of the Wicked, because I'm really liking this book. So it basically set place in Italy. I don't know what time period it's set in Italy, but it's early Italy. And it follows witches. It follows these 2 twins named Amelia and Victoria, and they are witches. Witches are not very popular in this society. They are more seen as a dangerous commodity. They have a grandmother living with them, and the grandmother is always very protective of their safety. They have these amulets that they wore that should be protecting them, but they do something as a child that I think kind of affected that. And one day, Amelia finds her sister dead. And they don't know what happened, but she found someone hovering over her body. And then she decides to summon a prince of hell to have some help. And I will say this, I am not always the biggest fan of paranormal romances. The last romance I can remember really liking was Cardan and Jude from Cruel Prince. I'm really liking this book. I think the characters are super fun. I think the world is great. It's set in Italy, which is just a fun time period to be in. I like that you got to meet the sister before she died. I like that. I think the witch world is super fun. I like that there's like characters from her family, because normally when you read books like this, the family doesn't exist. I like that the grandma has a really important part. She's really crafting the world building super well. And I'm really like intrigued enough by the romance. I also like that like I'm not they have like little breakdowns at the start of most chapters that give you you flesh out the world a little bit. I've always loved Carrie Matasako's writing. Like I always have. I love Thomas Cresswell in that other series. I think he's a great brooding hero. So I'm really excited to see what she does in this one. But this one is really captivating me, and it's super hard to put down, I'll be very honest. Like, I just sort of want to just keep reading it, but I know I'm tired, so I should probably, like, not read it, because then I will get less out of it. But, so, I'm going to read a little bit more of Keeper of the Cities Unlocked. I'm going to try to read up until, I'm gonna try to read up to Baina, which is her sister. So I want to try to read that section, and then I'm probably just gonna put on a movie. I think I'm gonna try to watch Artemis Fowl this weekend. I watched Mulan and really liked it. I know people have had issues with it, but I liked it. Then again, I'm not like the biggest fan of it, but it was fun. So I am going to read a little bit of this, and then I will check in with you guys tomorrow morning probably. So, I will talk to you guys in a bit. Bye. Larry here, just checking back in. It is 4:53. I survived my first day back teaching. I also did do my plan of like starting my prep work for the rest of the year. I only got through a week, but I feel pretty confident that I can do it in a timely fashion. So, again, this always happens. Whenever I go back to work every Monday, I get massive headaches because I don't stare at a computer screen all weekend, and I literally was off for like 11 days. So, again, more headaches than I would like. But other than that, it went pretty good. I also caught up on most of my podcast. It's been nice because a lot of my late night shows are off. Like a lot of my podcasts are not releasing episodes because they took breaks off. So it's been a nice time to like sort of like catch up. I also started listening to Steal Like an Artist, which is like a creative book, and I've actually wanted to read it for a while. I bought it for a friend like a couple of years ago, and there's 3 books in one audio, and it's like 4 hours. So I'm listening to that as I'm playing Animal Crossing. But I am super excited to dive back into Kingdom of the Wicked by Carrie Matasako. So, really liking that book. I didn't read anything today because, again, I was trying to prep to the best of my ability. But I am on page 18 and chapter 18 and page 129. I also did finish reading Bana section in my Keeper of the Lost Cities Unlocked last night. I started watching Artemis Fowl and I fell asleep. So, I hope to finish that tonight at some point. That's the movie I'm going to focus on. But I do want to make some progress on Kingdom of the Wicked. I will give you a video check-in of how many videos I still do need to watch, which I added a couple. I have to watch 81 videos. I added a couple because Super Space Chick is back, or Merrily Kristen. I think she changed her name on all her platforms, but she's one of my favorite booktubers, and she took like a super long break, so she's back, and I can't wait to watch her video. It's probably one of my last videos to watch, but really excited that she's back because I love her content so much. She's very, very motivating. So I'm going to dive in and watch some of my videos that I have, and I'm going to read and not stare at a screen. That's my goal. But yeah, I'll update you guys when I read a little bit more. Maybe when I get up to page like 200, maybe 150. 150, I'll update you guys because I want to read a little bit, and I haven't read anything all day, so I don't really know where we are in the story. But I know that I was really enjoying it. So I'm going to go back to reading, and I'll update you guys when I can. Bye. Lori here. I'm back. It's about 6:30. I actually did wind up reading a little bit more of Kingdom of the Wicked. I'm on page like 160. This book is super fast-paced. Like, everything happens so quickly in this book, and I'm really liking it. I think this is such a good book. I really am enjoying it. I love it's a mystery, but it's very quick. A lot of things happen, and I wish it would like. I'm loving the fast pacedness, and I like how it's being written. But I just, it's like it's happening so fast, and I almost wish it would like slow down a little bit. But I am really enjoying it. I love that it focuses a lot on sisterhood and how she's really trying to find out what happened to her sister, her twin that passed away. There's a lot of mysteries in this story, and there's also a lot of world building that's being slowly like introduced. Um, it's a very very compelling read. I really like how we're getting a lot of information about the world. I love the prince and hell trope. I think that that's really interesting. I love the setting as well. I think that set in Italy is super cool. I also like that you do see Amelia almost sort of like feeling like she has to become more like her sister because her sister's gone, and then also on the other hand, her still dealing with a lot of grief and a lot of elements. Her family in this book is also an interesting plot point that I'm really enjoying, especially the relationship she has with her grandma. This story is like an onion because you get like a little bit of information every single time you read, and we are also learning more about the demon realm just in general, and I like that a lot because I think we're learning more about these characters. I'm still intrigued to see how one part of this book develops because from what I've been hearing, it goes one way, and I'm curious like how it gets to that point. I don't want to spoil it, but there's one element of this that I said in the start of the reading vlog or my past reading vlog I was a little bit hesitant about. But I am going to read a little bit more. It's very, very fast paced. There was some very tense moments in it, and I'm still not sure how those moments are going to sort of turn out. But still really liking it. I'm going to go listen. I've been watching a couple of my my YouTube videos, but there is a podcast I'm in the middle of listening to that I want to try to watch as well. So I think I'm going to give that a listen, and then I'm going to go back to watching my videos, and hopefully by 9, I can go back and actually watch Artemis Fowl because I only watched like 20 minutes and then I fell asleep last night. That was not the plan. But yeah, I'll update you guys when I read to page 200. Talk to you guys in a bit. It's Laura here. I'm back. It is 8:17. I did wind up getting up to chapter 24 in Kingdom of the Wicked. I really am quite fond of this book. I really like the world building. I think it's a book that has super fast pace, and I like the character a lot. I like Amelia. I think her and her relationship with her sister, her dead sister, is super interesting because you do get elements of that. I'm really interested in the mystery because the main mystery is like, how did she die? Was she summoning a prince of hell? You know, there's a lot of sub mysteries in the story that are just super interesting. There's also a lot of history about her family that's kind of uncovering. I'm really intrigued. I'm definitely going to make some more progress on this tomorrow, but I'm going to stop reading for the night. I'm going to get ready to go watch Artemis Fowl. That's going to be my movie. I didn't make a whole lot of progress on my listening. I watched like a couple of videos for YouTube, nothing too crazy. Um, but I am excited to catch up on that read tomorrow. Hopefully, I can read between work. I mostly spent today catching up on podcasts that I neglected, but hopefully, I can read a little bit tomorrow. I also am focusing on getting my planning done, so I actually have curriculum until the end of the year, which will be about a couple of week process because it's a lot of units and I have to like pull stuff together. But yeah, I'll update you guys tomorrow when I read a little bit more of Kingdom of the Wicked, and talk to you guys later. Bye. It's actually much later. It's like 4:13. I had to help a friend work with some tech stuff. I also did get to planning a little bit. Have to admit, I'm really happy to be planning these units, so I might actually take Friday and Saturday and kind of plan them out because I really like want to see. I know I'm planning the units, but sometimes I just come up with ideas randomly when I'm creating lessons. And this year is such a different year because my curriculum is like so different than what I normally do. So I'm actually letting myself be a little bit more creative with it. And normally I don't have computers in my classroom, like I've never have them. So creating a unit knowing I may never have a computer ever to use ever again. So I'm really going all out, at least like in a classroom setting. So I'm really enjoying making this unit. But I did want to say that I did wind up listening to the first book in my So You Want to Be an Artist series. I think that's what it's called. What is it called? I'll look it up because there's 3 books I'm reading at once. They're really, really short too. They're like not that long. I think it's called Steal It, Show It, and Prove It. Steal Like an Artist, Show Your Work, and Keep Going. And I finished Steal Like an Artist, which I really liked. I thought it gave me some very like tangible steps to like work with. And I just enjoy, he like narrates it. They're really, really short. They're like not even 80 pages each, but like in an audiobook. So I've been listening to that, really liking it. I didn't get to start any of Kingdom of the Wicked. I read like a page and then I was like, oh, I have to update. So, but last night I did watch an episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which went in a very dark direction that I was not really prepared for emotionally. But it is the Georgia runoffs tonight. I feel like I'm probably going to be watching a lot of that for the next couple of days. There's just a lot of political stuff happening in the world. If you live in the United States, you know what I'm talking about. But I do want to focus on reading tonight, regardless of what I watch. But yeah, so I got up to page 24. I got up to page 186. I'm still waiting to have dinner. I did do my dual workouts. I worked out with my dad, which was really helpful. Yeah, also, they're doing the 100-day project that I learned about earlier in the year. And I think I'm going to do it, but for journaling. I think I'm going to try to journal every single day. And see how that goes because it's something I've always wanted to do. So I'm just going to try to start journaling. I have to look up when that starts so I make like a mental note. I'll actually do that now so I remember to look it up. But I do actually want to try to do that. I was gonna one year I would love to do like creative writing because I did have a couple ideas for books back in the day, but they got distracted. But I am gonna go look that up now that I remembered and kind of put that in a bee in my bonnet to remember to like to do that. And you do something for 100 days, which I think is really, really fun and really, really cool. And I also in my book I was reading, Steal Like an Artist, it said put like a calendar and every single time you put an X, you've done something for 100 days. I think that that's a really cool thing and very, very tangible. So, small update, not much about reading, but I am really liking this book and I hope to actually finish a majority of it today. So, I will check in when I read a little bit more and probably when I grab some dinner. Talk to you guys in a bit. Bye. I'm back. It's about 7:30. I actually did watch the Lore event with Alex Bracken from Books of Wonder, which was really, really fun. That's actually supposed to be my next read. But I did want to making a little bit more progress on Kingdom of the Wicked by Kerri Maniscalco. A lot of twists happen. The one thing this book is it's super fast paced, and I do enjoy that. But I just hope in future books that we will like dive in to the world a little bit more because the pacing is so quick. And I know it's a mystery, so sometimes I like miss some of the elements of it. Like I feel like it just goes super fast and there's not enough moments to kind of like think about it. But I know it's a duology. I'm really liking this. I'm loving the world. I'm loving the characters. Right now it's probably like a 4.5 star rating. The pacing is probably going to be a little bit, the quick pacing is probably going to bring it down a little bit. But other than that, I'm really enjoying it. 2 big plot reveals were just revealed, so I want to like keep reading. But yeah, I'll be back to reading and I'll update you guys when I get up to page 250. Talk to you guys in a bit. Bye. Just checking back in. It is 8:27. I did get up to page 250. I'm really intrigued how this book is gonna like wind up. I think the pacing is something that I'm liking it. I don't think it's my favorite. But even the character set, a lot of things happening like so fast. She doesn't have a lot of processing time as a character. So I don't have a lot of processing time as like an audience member. But it is like a nice balance almost between a historical fiction book but also like a mythology book, which I really am liking. But yeah, I'm really liking this book. I really like the twin elements. I'm intrigued enough about the romance. Like if it goes that way, probably will. But I'm intrigued by that. It also has elements of like Serpent and Dove that I really like. Elements of that, like not some elements. I love the witchcraft element a lot. I think it's so cool. So I'm going to go back to reading and I'll update you guys when I get up to page like 300 and see what time it is because I might just keep reading. But we'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye. Hi friends, Lori here. Just checking back in. Woof! I'm filming this on January 6th, which I don't know how to talk about today, so I'm not, but just know, Jesus Christ, our democracy is like a wreck. A wreck. A total wreck. Just gonna say that. But I am watching a lot of news, I'll be honest. But I did wind up getting up to page 288 in The Kingdom of the Wicked. I stayed up way too late last night watching the Georgia returns for the runoff, which Raphael Warnock and John Ossoff officially have won. Yes, very exciting. But it did make me a little bit tired, a little bit out of sorts. And then with everything going on with the certification of the presidential results, it's been a day. But I do really want to finish this book. It's been a day. It's been a little bit complicated. I am really liking it. Definitely think I could probably tackle the rest of it tonight. I really am enjoying it. I'm having a little bit of trouble focusing, but I do want to finish. I'm really close to the end. So when I'm done with it, I'll probably give you guys when I get to page 300, I'll probably give you guys an update. I feel like we're right at the end game, and I think I'm going to deviate from my TBR a little bit because I don't want something light and fluffy, and I just got an arc from Entangled Teen, so I may do like a fantasy reading vlog for the weekend because I have 2 fantasy books that I would like to read, one from Entangled Teen that I'm super excited about. So I'm going to go tackle the rest of Kingdom of the Wicked, and I'll get to page 300 and I'll give you guys an update. But yeah, it's been a day, and it's okay to have a day every once in a while, but I just hope everyone's safe. That's the only thing I'm going to say. Violence is never the answer. I, of course, support peaceful protesting. This is not protesting. And yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that. But I'm going to go back to reading and try to decompress a little bit. I'll update you guys when I get to page 300. Bye. Here, I'm back. It is January 7th. I was going to read my other book, but this book, the Julia Quinn, The Viscount Who Loved Me, is actually due back at the library like in 2 days. I don't think I'm going to finish it, but I'm going to see how far I can get. This is the second book in the Bridgerton series, so I'm going to try to read this. It's been a weird day. A lot of new stuff happening. If you guys are following, that's awesome. So I'm probably just going to read I'm going to read for most of the evening and just try to catch up on the news because I've been working all day. I also have to do a lot of planning this weekend. But I did finish Kingdom of the Wicked last night by Kerri Maniscalco. I actually wound up really enjoying this book. I would say I would wind up giving this book like 4.5 stars. I love the world. I love the characters. It was a super fast-paced novel, and I sometimes think I like missed a little bit out on character development because of that. But I really liked it. I thought it was a very, very eerie, creepy read. I think my focus waned a little bit at the end, but that was more to do with life events rather than the actual substance of the novel. But I really wound up enjoying it and wound up giving it 4.75 stars for review. And I'm really excited to read the second book. I think it's coming out in 2021, so I will be able to read it. So I am going to pick up The Viscount Who Loves Me, which is the second Bridgerton book. This is Anthony's book, I think. It is a little bit under 400 pages, but I tend to read these super quickly. And this follows Anthony, and it has to do with Kate. So I'm going to read this. I'm going to try to catch up on the news. And I will update you guys when I read about like 50 pages. I really like The Duke and I. There was that horrible rape scene in that book. I'll say that that I wasn't the biggest fan of. But other than that, I really like the Bridgerton families, and I think Anthony is such a fun character. So I'm gonna go meet Anthony and Kate, and I'll update you guys when I read about 50 pages. Talk to you guys in a bit. Bye. Lori here, just checking back in. It's almost 7 o'clock. I did wind up reading about 56 pages in The Viscount Who Loved Me by Julia Quinn. So this is Anthony's and Kate's book. So this is, I think he's the oldest child of the Bridgerton family. Yeah, he's definitely the oldest. And you did see him in The Duke and I. But basically he is convinced because his dad died so young that he is going to die young. So he decides to go get married in hopes that he will have a child that his wife will raise, but he is determined to not fall in love with anyone. Like, that's his big goal. He doesn't want to fall in love with anyone. So he winds up coming across these 2 sisters, Kate and her half-sister. Oh, what's her half-sister's name? I think it's Amelia. Is it Amelia? she has a sister, and her sister is so Kate's older. She's like 21. But because her family couldn't afford a coming out party, they decided, or coming season, because they don't live in the city. Sorry, I'm explaining this super badly. Just bear with me. But they decided to have like a combined season, and her sister makes a statement that she's only gonna marry someone that her sister likes. So then comes in Anthony, who's determined to marry this said sister, but to get to his sister, he has to impress Kate. I like Kate as a main character a lot. I think she's super fun. And yeah, I also like Miss Lady Whistledome's her like point of view and her like her comments. Definitely, it has an element of Gossip Girl to it, and I find that to be super fun. But I do like Anthony as a character. I really liked. I did enjoy him in book one. I thought he was like super funny. But yeah, so I'm going to try to read a little bit more. I think I'm going to play a little bit of Animal Crossing as well because I've been on a stretch of playing. But yeah, I also did watch a couple of YouTube videos, which was the plan of attack for tonight. I'm probably going to watch a couple of more, before, I always watch Anderson Cooper in the evening because I like him. But yes, I'm going to go get a snack, play a little bit of Animal Crossing, and I will update you guys when I can. Bye. Sorry, here, just checking back in. It's almost 9 o'clock. I did wind up getting up to page 90 in The Viscount Who Loved Me by Julia Quinn. I really am liking this book. I tend to like love to hate romances, and that's definitely what this book is. Most of the time I like them. But this one I just think is super fun. But basically Anthony is determined to marry her sister because he doesn't want anyone that he falls in love with. He doesn't think that's the life for him. He just wants someone that he could be with and yada yada yada. But the sister will only marry someone that her sister Kate likes. And Kate is kind of like a wallflower. She's a little bit older. She's not the prettiest person in the room. But yeah, Anthony's starting to develop feelings for her, and I just really like their dynamics a lot. I also like the relationship between her and her sister that's discussed in this book because it just feels so sisterly. I also love the fact that she has a stepmother. Kate has a stepmother, and I love their relationship. I don't think I've read a book where the stepmother's relationship with the stepdaughter is actually good. Most of the books I read have very, very harsh relationships between stepmothers and stepdaughters. And I just think it's fun representation. But there's also a dog in this book, which I really like. He's a corgi, and I just like the setting a lot. I also like the Bridgerton family. There's 9 of them, and I just think it's just like a fun cast of characters that you get to see. But yeah, I'm really, really enjoying this one. So I'm gonna head back to reading. I'll probably read another like 50 pages, and then I'll probably update you guys again. I fear I'm gonna probably have to return this book to the library before I finish it. But I might just get it on my new Nook and just read it when I'm done with it, when I have to return it. But I'm going to try to read a good portion of this today and tomorrow. So I will read a little bit more and then I'll update you guys when I can. Bye. It's Laurie here. It is Friday, January 8th. I feel like I didn't get a lot of reading done this week because it was a weird week with everything happening in the world. So I got up to page 90 last night in the Viscount Who Loved Me. I'm hoping to finish a majority of this book tonight, like after I'm done with everything. I'm just going to try to just focus on my YouTube videos, put away the news for a little bit, and just try to catch up the best that I can. But for me to get to that point, I do have a few like little errandy things that I wanted to get done. So I'm gonna try to do that first. I have I have to finish my blog post, do all that stuff. I don't think I'm gonna work this weekend, but we'll see. I just prepped my class post for like 2 weeks, so. But I think what I'm just gonna do is I'm gonna just try to plan during the week. But I feel like I didn't get a lot of reading done this week, and I just really want to kind of devote myself to that tonight and this weekend. It was just a weird week. I think we can all agree. It was just a weird week, but I was really liking this. I do actually have to return this to the library tomorrow, because someone else has a holdout on it. But what I think I might do is I might look to see if it's on Hoopla, and I might see if I can just get the audiobook. But if not, maybe I will just maybe I'll just buy it on my new Nook. So I'm gonna go get my R&D stuff done, and I'll come back. But I really want to read this weekend. That's really my goal. I'm going to see how long this reading vlog is, and maybe I'll, like, start a new one for the weekend, but I just feel like escaping, and when I tend to escape, I tend to want to read. I have about 100 YouTube videos I need to watch, and I might just make that my priority this weekend, just to kind of catch up, but I really have been watching the news a lot. I just kind of want to put the news away and just kind of relax a little bit. So that's my plan. When I'm done with all my errands, I'm probably going to go for a walk and just kind of get out of the house. And yeah, I'll check in with you guys when I'm ready to start reading for the night. Bye, guys. Here I'm back. It is about 4:25. I will admit, I did go for a walk. I talked to some girlfriends as I was walking around the block since I can't see them in person. Socially distant, I just talked to them on the phone. But I am in the middle of my audiobook collection, Steal Like an Artist. I'm in the middle of Show Your Work by Austin Kleon. So I actually have about 3 hours left in this, but it's like an hour and a half because I put it up on double speed. So I'm gonna try to get most of my work done today and like do all my errandy stuff. But once this audiobook is over, or once I'm done with this audiobook, I'm gonna stop working. And that will be all the stuff I get done. I have a couple of little more things I want to do. The most important thing I want to do is I want to set all my blog posts for 2020. So I can really like focus this weekend on reading. I really felt like this week was not a big reading week for me. I just was like the first week back to school. Everything that happened in Washington just really like threw off my reading game with the Georgia runoffs and everything. So I'm just going to take the next hour and a half and just sort of focus, listen to this audiobook setup, and then I will check back in when I'm done with that, or if I get done with my errands early, maybe I'll work out. It just sort of depends, but I am going to take 2 hours and just sort of decompress and sort of listen to my audiobook, not listen to the news. I know it's hard. That's the world we're living in. Hopefully it gets a little bit better, but I'm going to go read my art, listen to my creative audiobook, which I am really enjoying, and I will update you guys when I'm ready to start reading for the evening. Bye, guys. It's Lori here. I'm back to wrap up this reading vlog. I'm still not done with my errands, but I do want to say that this was just a weird week. I'll be honest. It was my first week back at work after break. Everything happened with the Capitol and all that stuff, so it was a little bit of a weird reading week. But I did wind up finishing up Kingdom of the Wicked by Kerri Maniscalco. I liked this book. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun read. I liked the mystery elements. I thought the pacing was actually pretty good, but I felt like I wanted a little bit more out of the length. I thought that sometimes things happen super fast and it was hard to feel connected to the story, but I really did like the characters, and I wound up giving this one 4 stars for review. And I also started reading The Viscount Who Loved Me by Julia Quinn. But I am probably going to have to switch this to an audio read because I have to bring this back to the library tomorrow. But I will talk about that in my next reading vlog that I'm going to start probably later tonight or tomorrow. But thank you guys for bearing with me, and I will see you guys for my next reading vlog.